like a real live human being. Not your role, not your responsibility, not the
It
past.
began as an ordinary Sunday at Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church, but it ended as one of the most emotional moments in gospel history. Pastor Charles Jenkins, known for his powerful sermons and soulful leadership, collapsed suddenly while preaching to his devoted congregation. What started as a morning of worship turned into a scene of panic, tears, and desperate prayers. In a matter of seconds, joy turned to fear, and faith was tested like never before. The shocking incident sent ripples through not only his church, but the entire gospel community across America. What followed revealed not just a health emergency, but a deeper truth about the pressure, pain, and humanity behind spiritual leadership. A Sunday that turned into chaos. The morning began with music, laughter, and worship filling the air. Pastor Jenkins, as always, spoke with passion and conviction, but halfway through his sermon, something fell off. His voice trembled, his hands tightened around the pulpit, and before anyone could react, he collapsed. Panic swept through the sanctuary as screams echoed across the church. People rushed forward, some praying, others trying to revive him. Trained medical volunteers hurried to check his pulse, while others called 911. Within minutes, paramedics arrived, and the once joyful church was filled with the sound of sirens outside. People stood frozen, unable to comprehend what had happened. As Jenkins was carried out on a stretcher, many followed in tears, holding hands, praying aloud, and begging for a miracle. It was no longer a sermon, it was a storm of faith and fear colliding in one unforgettable moment. The hospital rush, and a city holding its breath. By the time Pastor Jenkins reached the hospital, the entire city of Chicago was already on edge. Church members gathered in the parking lot, clutching hands in circles of prayer. Inside, doctors worked urgently to stabilize him as nurses monitored his vitals. The first update was brief. He was alive, but in critical condition. His wife stayed at his bedside, quiet but determined, refusing to leave him even for a moment. Church elders arrived one after another, their faces showing a mixture of shock and sorrow. The silence from the hospital only deepened the anxiety outside. People prayed through the night, unwilling to accept that their beloved pastor could be taken from them so suddenly. Every heartbeat of hope became a lifeline, and for the first time, even the strongest members of the congregation found themselves weeping openly. Social media erupts. From prayers to rumors. Within minutes of the collapse, videos from inside the church began spreading online. The hashtag #PrayForJenkins went viral as thousands across the country joined in collective prayer. Gospel singers, pastors, and celebrities posted emotional tributes and messages of support. Yet, as prayers filled social media, so did speculation. Some claimed Pastor Jenkins had hidden health problems, while others suggested stress or exhaustion. A few went as far as to hint at church-related tensions. The hospital's tight-lipped updates only fueled the fire. Soon, what began as a community's concern turned into an internet storm, part compassion, part controversy. This digital wave revealed something powerful: how quickly love can turn into curiosity, and how deeply the world craves answers when tragedy strikes a public figure. Behind the collapse, the pressure. No one saw. As more details surfaced, insiders began speaking quietly about the toll ministry life had taken on Jenkins. He had been working non-stop, preaching, traveling, recording music, and attending endless meetings. Those close to him said he often ignored his own fatigue, determined to keep serving without rest. Like many spiritual leaders, he feared showing weakness, but his collapse became a tragic reminder that even those who seem unshakable have limits. Pastors are often expected to carry the burdens of thousands while silently enduring their own. Jenkins's body finally gave out under the weight of devotion and duty. This wasn't just a medical emergency, it was a reflection of the hidden exhaustion that too many leaders face, where service becomes sacrifice and faith becomes a heavy cross to bear. Faith, fear, and the fight for recovery. Inside the ICU, Pastor Jenkins's condition remained critical. Doctors worked around the clock, while family members and close friends kept vigil by his side. The tension was unbearable, yet moments of hope began to appear. He showed small signs of response, faint movements, and brief moments of awareness. When he finally whispered, "Tell the church I love them," it broke everyone's hearts. That simple phrase reminded them that his spirit was still strong, even as his body struggled. Doctors, however, warned that recovery would take time and complete rest. For many, that meant facing a painful truth. The pulpit might remain silent for a while. Still, the church continued praying, holding vigils, and believing for a miracle. It wasn't just about saving their pastor's life, it was about preserving the heartbeat of their spiritual family. A divided conversation. Faith versus speculation. While the faithful prayed, others debated. Social media became a battlefield of opinions. Some demanded transparency from the church, wanting details about Jenkins's health. Others questioned whether his lifestyle had contributed to his collapse. Critics accused megachurches of overworking their leaders, while supporters urged unity and patience. The church leadership tried to calm the storm, reminding everyone that gossip could only make things worse. But the reality was that this moment had opened a wound, one that exposed not only concern for Jenkins, but also the broader pressure of leadership in modern faith communities. What should have been a moment of compassion turned into a mirror reflecting the complex relationship between pastors, their congregations, and the expectations placed upon them. The weight of leadership and the wake-up call. Behind closed doors, church elders met in deep discussion. They knew Jenkins's recovery might take months, and difficult decisions had to be made. Who would lead in his absence? How would the congregation cope? More importantly, how could they prevent such burnout from happening again? For years, Jenkins had been the center of the ministry, its voice, its heart, its symbol of strength. But his collapse forced everyone to confront an uncomfortable truth. No single man can carry an entire ministry alone. It became a wake-up call, not just for Fellowship Church, but for countless other congregations across the country. Leadership, they realized, must be shared, not carried. In Jenkins's silence, the church began to rediscover the power of collective faith, proving that unity can survive even when its leader falls. A wave of love across the nation. As news spread, the gospel community came together like never before. Pastors, singers, and believers from every denomination offered prayers. Worship nights were held in Jenkins's honor, with thousands gathering to sing and intercede for his healing. Outside his church, candlelight vigils filled the streets. Families stood side by side, crying, singing, and holding on to hope. Messages poured in from around the world, from Bishop T.D. Jakes to Kirk Franklin, all calling him a brother, a mentor, a soldier of faith. This overwhelming support reminded everyone that love and prayer still hold power in moments of crisis. It wasn't just a show of sympathy, it was the reflection of the impact Pastor Jenkins had left on countless lives through his ministry, his music, and his unwavering spirit. Beyond recovery. The lesson that changed everything. While doctors continued their fight to bring him back to full strength, the meaning of his collapse grew larger than one man's health. People began to see it as a message, a divine reminder that even the strongest leaders need rest. Churchgoers, ministers, and even fans of gospel music began discussing the dangers of spiritual burnout. One elder's words echoed across social media. Maybe God allowed this to remind us that even our strongest need rest. Pastor Jenkins's story became a lesson in balance, humility, and the importance of self-care. It wasn't about weakness, it was about wisdom. His journey showed that leadership is not about never falling, it's about finding the strength to rise again and inspire others through the truth of your struggle. A legacy of faith and renewal. Today, as Pastor Charles Jenkins continues his recovery, his story has already transformed the way many view ministry and leadership. His collapse, though tragic, sparked a necessary conversation about health, responsibility, and grace within faith communities. The world saw that behind every pulpit stands a human being, one who can inspire millions, yet still need rest, care, and compassion. For his congregation, this experience became a turning point, a reminder that the true strength of a church lies not in one man, but in the unity of many hearts. And for Pastor Jenkins, this chapter, though painful, may become his greatest sermon yet, a living testimony that even in weakness, faith can still shine its brightest light.